I'm going to start this vlog with a quick, mostly unedited playthrough of the grid mode as it currently exists. Starting on the grid screen, you should know from the live game, you may notice that a bunch of the UI is currently broken or different. There's still a bunch of prototype stuff in here, like the day tracker down here, and the processes section that still says coming in Alpha 5. The actual grid, here in the middle, is staying though. Once you connect to the server, you will spawn in that server's router. You must then take control of the 3 security nodes by shooting them with your gun, and then uploading a virus that switches them to your side. This is the basic objective of each room in the server, and you take control of each room in the same way. The long-term plan is to add more types of structure to each room to modify this core objective. Once you have control of the room, the exit will open, and you can use it by holding the Use button, sending you to the network map. This is where the majority of the last month has gone for me. Normally at least 2 people will be working on the UI during a game's development. You'd have an artist and a programmer working only on that one task for the entire dev cycle. I have to both design and program the UI, so it just takes longer to get this stuff done. Especially as I don't really know what I'm doing. In the last vlog, the network map looked like this, which I think we can agree is a mess. You could also just connect to any room you wanted. There wasn't a concept of controlling a room, or working towards controlling the server, and this was fine for debugging the network generation algorithms, but awful for the actual game. So during the last month, the UI has gone through several iterations. Hexagons being a primary part of the game, I spent several days working out how to lay out the networks on a hex grid so that no rooms would ever overlap. Once I found a design that worked, I then had to convert that into a set of rules the game would then use to lay everything out on its own. The next stage was giving each room a state that represented whether or not the player controlled it, and how that affected your progress through the whole network. I also added control point values to the rooms at this stage, as well as security ratings that define how much CP you need to be able to access a room. Next came laying out the network map UI, so that the extra information the player needs to make decisions existed. The first iteration was terrible. However, after a few days I managed to figure out better ways to display the data you actually needed, and zero in on a layout that was working. The most recent addition was a visual display of where the player controls on the map. I added coloured lines between the rooms as well as outlines around the rooms that you control. I literally just finished adding that yesterday. My next task is adding information about the player state to the left side of the screen. Info such as what level you are, the state of your loadout, how many proxies you have, how much brain damage you've suffered, that kind of stuff. I also needed to add a logout button so that you can return to the grid screen and save your game or change your loadout. The network map is also going to be the template for the redesign of the grid screen. By the next episode, the grid screen will have changed and connecting to a server will open up the network map, allowing you to select your starting location from any room you already control. The goal is to have the 2 screens use a similar layout of information so swapping from one to the other is less jarring. The network map and the grid redesign should be done by the end of next week. Once that's all done, I'll be able to start working on the individual rooms and getting those playable, and I'll also be looking at the boss fights and making completing those switch control of the server and reward you with an item unlock. If I have the time, I'll also try and make the room walls change colour to reflect the security node ownership, which will be cool. I hope these monthly updates are helpful. I'm enjoying doing them, and it helps keep me focused and fully evaluate what I'm spending my time doing to make sure I avoid feature creep. Currently it doesn't look like Alpha 5 will be ready before the holidays, but I'll try and get something out before the end of the year, even if it's just the newer enemy models. You can follow my progress on the socials that are on screen and linked in the doobly-doo, and please leave a comment with any ideas you'd like to see in the game in future. Thank you for watching this vlog, and supporting the development of the game during early access. Without your help, none of this would have been possible. Yeah, that's it. Bye!